Aside from Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, trade them all. Ooh, it's about to happen, y'all. It's about to happen, y'all. James Harden is about to be a Philadelphia 76er. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Oh. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? It's about to happen. It's going to happen, y'all. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I mean, look, for a guy like James Harden, right? For there to be reports that the Nets and the Sixers are in deal zone, that they're in the direction of making a trade for this guy, it's wraps. It's just the trade's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. And the Nets, I mean, I'm going to talk about them a little bit later, but they're trading Harden because they firmly believe that he is walking in free agency. And if they don't trade for him now, they will lose him for nothing. And remember what they gave up to get James Harden. Multiple draft picks. Jared Allen, who's an all-star, or at least he should be an all-star. Karis LeVert, who is a great young player in this league, or I want to say great, a good young player in this league. But they gave up a lot. They gave up their bench, gave up a lot to get James Harden. So they want to get something in return for this guy. Now, the Nets, they want to get not only Ben Simmons, but 2 or 3 more pieces. Here's what I'll say. Aside from Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, trade them all. Tobias Harris, trade him. Furkan Korkmaz, trade him. Drummond, trade him. Thibault, I love Thibault, but trade him. I mean, unless you're Tyrese Maxey or Joel Embiid on the Sixers, I'm sorry, Seth Curry, you're going to have to go. So unless you're those two guys, I don't care. Good riddance. We can get James freaking Harden. Goodbye. So if the Nets want Tyrese Maxey, I don't care. Well, we will simply wait until the summertime and then get James Harden then. Because really, the Sixers are doing the Nets a favor because you're going to get this guy for nothing. You might as well just get him for something now. So if we're really being honest, and Daryl Morey knows this, he has the leverage. Because the Nets know deep down, Harden ain't going to stay. He's not signing that extension. He does not mess with Kyrie. He is not going to be a Net long term, right? He's going to opt out, and he's going to come to Philadelphia in the offseason unless the Nets happen to win a championship, which I don't see them doing, right? So they already know that Harden is 1 foot in, 1 foot out. He doesn't like how he's being played. He doesn't like the Kyrie situation. He doesn't like the fact that he doesn't have a chip, but he's kind of carrying the team similarly to how he was in Houston. And for all of this, he could have signed that contract extension in Houston for gazillion dollars, but now he's in Brooklyn, and he's like, it feels like he's like the only guy that's all in. Now, obviously, KD is all in, but, you know, these past years, KD's been injured. So I see why Harden, you know, is upset with the situation happening in Brooklyn. But what I say to Brooklyn, like, this is not me as a Sixers fan. This is just me as an NBA fan. If I'm Brooklyn, I'm holding on to James Harden because I still believe that once KD comes back, that they have a shot of winning a championship. Okay, yes, Kyrie is a part-time player. Okay, we get that, right? But even if he's there for 4 or 3 games in a best-of-7 series, right? You still got James Harden and you still got KD. What duo in the East can match up with that? Not the Bucks. Chris Middleton is like maybe top 25, right? But what duo in the East has 2 top 10 players? At the end of the day, regardless if they have Kyrie or not, the Nets should still win the East, right? So if I'm the Nets, I don't know what they're doing, but they really should keep Harden, right? They're really doing us a favor, but we're going to try and flip it around and make it seem like we're trying to do them a favor by trading Harden for them now instead of, you know, okay, we could just get him in the offseason for nothing, right? Now, on the Sixers side, there are 2 players in Philly that are untradeable. Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. Everybody else can go. Tobias Harris, go. Furkan Korkmaz, go. Seth Curry, I love you, bro. Gotta go. Thibault is a great dude. Great defender. Gotta go. Drummond. Tuh. Bye. I mean, look, anybody else besides Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, I don't care. Good riddance. We can get James freaking Harden, a top 7, top 8 player in this league. I don't care, right? So the Nets, they want Ben Simmons, and they want 2 or 3 players. So what I would do is, you know what? I'll trade y'all. I'll give y'all Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Furkan Korkmaz, and a pick. I feel like that's a very good thing. Now, I wouldn't want to trade Matisse Thybulle. I wouldn't want to do that. But if it comes down to it, I trade him. It's hard. I think at the end of the day, I would. But the Sixers have the leverage because the Nets, I think the Nets have reason to believe that James Harden is not going to re-sign in the offseason. He's going to opt out, and they could lose him for nothing, right? So the Sixers are really they got the leverage, but at the same time, it's like, hey, y'all can have a chance to win the chip if you get James Harden right now this season. You don't have no chance if you don't got James Harden, right? Another thing, the Sixers are 2 games out of first place in the East. 2 games out, and they don't even have their second best player. So imagine if they get James Harden. Again, chip bound. Again, finals bound. Again, championship bound. Again, Doc Rivers is going to have his second ring. Joel Embiid is going to get his first ring. James Harden is going to get his first ring. If you don't think that when James Harden comes to Philly, he's not going to be reinvigorated, he's not going to be determined to get a ring, he's not going to feel like, you know what, this organization wants to win. This organization, everybody is buying in to one goal, and that is to win a championship. The problem that I believe James Harden is feeling in Brooklyn is the fact that Kyrie is not all in. Bro, if you want to be MLK, leave the NBA and be MLK. It's no problem with that, bro. But what we're not going to do is you be in some games, then be in other, then you're not available in other games, and it's at the expense of your team, right? Kyrie's decision is not just based on Kyrie, because James Harden went to the Nets under the understanding that Kyrie Irving would be there, but he's not. So at the end of the day, if and when James Harden gets traded, this falls on Kyrie. And I'm thinking about this. LeBron James, with Kyrie Irving, went to the finals 3 straight times. Got a championship. Beat the Warriors down 3-1. Came back. Beat those guys. I think LeBron James should get more credit for playing with Kyrie Irving and the success they had in their 3 years together. Because what has Kyrie done without LeBron James? I mean, in Cleveland, before he got there, they were so bad. They had like 2 or 3 first-round picks when Kyrie was there, right? In Boston, they were actually better without Kyrie. In Brooklyn, in his first year there, when KD was out, the Nets played better without Kyrie. This season or last season, right? They did not get it done. They did not win the championship. This season, he's playing this. He's a part-time player now, and he's probably going to be the reason why this team is broken up. So a guy like LeBron James that was able to tolerate Kyrie Irving, that was able to, you know what, I wouldn't say control, but you know what, at least be a great teammate to him and get the most out of Kyrie during their 3 years together, he should get more credit for that stint with Kyrie Irving, because this guy is all over the place. I mean, you can't depend on him. You cannot trust him. And same way how people be like, hey, I don't know how you can play with Russell Westbrook. I don't know how LeBron James was able to play with Kyrie Irving and win a championship with him. You might disagree, but the facts is in the pudding. Without LeBron James, what has Kyrie done? He hasn't even gotten to the Eastern Conference Finals. So Let that set in. Kyrie is immensely talented, but the proof is in the pudding, y'all. The proof is in the pudding. But again, as a Sixers fan, when I'm just hearing this news that a deal is, it's in the direction of Harden becoming a Sixer, I mean, God's great. God's great. God's great. I mean, 2-5. I'm in Atlanta right now. I'm gonna get a ticket to go to Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, South Philly, and I'm gonna be to front row, courtside. Well, heck, I'm a college student, so maybe not courtside, but I'm gonna get some pretty good seats, and we're gonna see James Harden, Joel Embiid, all those guys to get a chip. What, bro? What? Hey, man, this team. You get James Harden, it really is a wrap for this league, and I know the league is scared. They're scared. They're scared because they know if they got James Harden, who's gonna be on a mission to win a championship, it's over. It's over. And one last thing. Harden winning a chip in Philadelphia will be better for his legacy than winning a chip in Brooklyn. If he wins a chip in Brooklyn as the third wheel or as one part of the big three, it's like, dude, you were supposed to win. But if he goes to the Sixers and wins a chip with Joel Embiid, his legacy skyrockets. His legacy goes to another level because he was able to bring a chip to a city in Philadelphia that hasn't won a chip in like 40, 50 plus years, bro. So if I'm James Harden, I have every incentive to be a Sixer. I have every incentive to want to go to the 2-1-5. I have every incentive to, go to Philadelphia. So, man, I am excited. I'm going to have another video once this deal breaks out, but best believe this deal is happening. It's just about when. This is Real Talking Miles Johnson, where y'all know I always keep it real. Let me know down below your thoughts on this potential trade. I'm out, y'all.